Hello, good night, everyone. Welcome to LLHS, Ladies of London Hacking Society, October event. Tonight we will talk about broken access control, which is now #1 on OWAASP top 10. But the time we have planned this, it was #5 on the previous version of OWAASP top 10. So you have me, your chapter leader, Didar here. We have Megan and Filiz also. Say hi, ladies.
Hello.
Hello.
And you will be hearing from us all tonight. And as I said before the recording started, this is a community event. Please don't be shy. Use the chat or you can unmute and ask your questions or make comments. This is a very safe space to talk. And with that, I will start our presentation. So we start with this because this is very important. So our events are always free for our attendees and it will always be free. But if you have the means to donate, Refuge is our partner charity, and we do encourage to give generously. They do really good work for women and children. And that is our start. So tonight, we're going to start with a quick update on OWAASP top 10. As I mentioned, there are some changes in there. I will run through them. And then I will hand over to Megan. Megan will give us a short introduction about what broken access control is. Then we will give a 5-minute break, and then we will do the demo with Filiz. Filiz will lead us in the demos on the Juiceshop. Everyone feeling ready? Yay, great. So I don't think I need to explain what OWAASP top 10 is, but there are many new faces. So OWAASP is a global organization, a non-for-profit organization. OWAASP stands for Open Web Application Security Project. So they were founded like 20 years ago, maybe a bit more, to start defining what are the things that go wrong, how can we collaborate better, how are you solving this so that it's a community as well. And they're most known for their OWAASP top 10, which is one of their projects where they every few years they refresh by doing some data analysis about what are the top 10 web application vulnerabilities. So what we're going to talk about tonight is the broken access control. And as I was saying, it's used to be #5 in the 2017 version. And now they have announced late September, the 2021 version, and broken access control is #1. So you are in the right place. So during their data analysis, they found like 94% of the tested web applications had some form of broken access control. So quite a serious number. That's why it's #1. If you have any questions, please do jump in. So now I will tell you a bit about the changes since from the 2017 version. So as we said, the #1 is now broken access control. It moved from the 5th. #2 is cryptographic failures. I cannot talk. It is now #2. It was previously known as I'm sorry, I'm trying to find my windows. It was previously known as sensitive data exposure. Yes, the renewed focus here is on failures related to cryptography, which often lead to sensitive data exposure or system compromise, which is also pretty serious. That's why it has shifted to #2. #3 is now injection. It was higher before, and now it's number 3. Cross-site scripting is now also part of this category. Number 4 is insecure design. It's a new category for 2021. It focuses on risks related to design flows. So this one calls for more use of threat modeling, secure design, security by design, secure design patterns and principles, and reference architectures. So yeah, well, it's not very surprising because this is an application security. Top 10 is all about application security, and these things are very relevant, prevalent for application security. Anyway, number 5, the new number 5 is security misconfiguration. It moved up from number 6 from the previous edition. It's not surprising to see this category move up. The former category for XML external entities, XXE, is now part of this category. Number 6 is vulnerable and outdated components, was previously titled using components with known vulnerabilities. This used to be number 9, and it is a very well-known issue that we struggle to test and assess every day. And we do try. There are so many new products in the recent years doing just this, but it's still not a solved problem. Number 7 is identification and authentication failures. It was previously called broken authentication, and it's sliding down from the 2nd position. This now includes the common vulnerabilities, common weaknesses that are more related to identification failures. This category is still an integral part of the top 10, but the increased availability of standardized frameworks seems to be helping with this. That's why it is now at a lower ranking. Any questions so far? I'll just continue. Number 8 is the software and data integrity failures. There's only 3 left, don't worry. It's a new category for 2021 as well, focusing on making assumptions related to software updates, critical data, CI/CD pipelines without verifying integrity. Insecure deserialization from the 2017 version is now also part of this larger category. Number 9 is security logging and monitoring failures, which was previously insufficient logging and monitoring. It moved up one rank from number 10. This is now expanded to include more types of failures which can directly impact visibility, incident alerting, and forensics. And with number 10, server-side request forgery. This is a special one because this is not backed up by the data. So the top 10 project leaders, they have the chance or the authority to add things that are seen but may not be backed up by data. So this is one of those categories that they have. This is the only category they have added without the backing of data, but they have done this before in even the very first editions because there was no data back then. Anyway, so this is for the exploit and impact potential, they have put this into number 10. It represents the scenarios where the security community members are telling us this is important, even though it's not illustrated in the data at this time, just as I said. So that is the new top 10. I hope you found it interesting as well. I will now hand the floor to Megan, who will run us through what broken access control is. And as I said before, if you guys have anything to add or any questions, don't wait.
Definitely. Well, thanks, Didar, for kind of covering all the changes that have happened with the new OWAASP Top 10. As you said, broken access control is on the top. So it is timely that we're talking about it today. So what is access control? So really, we're talking about authorization or permission to do something. So you think, well, that's simple enough. Like, I've heard of least privilege and, you know, only assigning people what they need. But in reality, it's a lot more complex than that. And once, you know, when you just have one system, it might be fine. But, you know, as we know from the places that we work, and even just the amount of tools we use every day, it's much more complex than that. And when you add the different layers and dependencies and software talking to other software and everything that kind of builds together into a much more complex infrastructure and opens up more ways that it can be broken. Next slide. So when we talk about broken access control, what does that look like? So it could be the access to other people's information, the ability to change that information. So if you think about like being able to go to a website or potentially an app, and just by changing maybe the URL or different things behind the scenes. So if you have tools, maybe going in and actually manipulating some of the client side stuff. So the stuff that you would put in like a debugging tool, or if you're using specific tools, like we may see some of these opportunities in our demos later, you may be able to see things that you shouldn't be able to see. Obviously, there's also misconfigured cloud buckets. So we all know about like open storage, things being set to public when they shouldn't be, and all the data breaches that can cause. Not talking about Twitch or anything, but yeah, there's a lot of ways that can happen, as well as things like unauthorized access to admin portals, admin privileges. So maybe you can log in as a user, but actually you're able to be an admin of that system, in which case you can make unwanted changes, you could delete files, it could even take down an entire service if you wanted to. So it really is about having access to things that you shouldn't, which is why I tried to add these little memes. Hopefully not everybody gets access. And in terms of like being able to view stuff without permission, certain people will do what they can. So it is important that we, you know, even if you're thinking like internal to your own companies, think about like what access you're giving to individuals and whether they really need to have access to that information. Next slide. And so how does it happen? So there's a number of ways it can happen. Some of it we'll obviously talk about in our demo. You'll get to see a bit later. So overly permissive or publicly accessible files would be one. Obviously, publicly accessible is going to be the worst, right? Like there's lots of internal sensitive things, cloud buckets, all of that. You generally don't want to have that open just to whoever wants to come across it and like take your database data. The other side of it that's probably more common, perhaps, is the overly permissive. So allowing different roles, groups, individuals to do more than they should within a system or within an environment. We talked a little bit on the last slide about elevation of privilege. So, you know, putting, if there aren't controls in place, maybe someone can elevate themselves to do admin tasks, or maybe they don't even have to elevate themselves. They just have that privilege from signing in. And then there's the bit more technical side of how could this happen as well. And I say more technical because it's not just like the standard like permissions, it's people who could look for weaknesses in systems and exploit those to be able to do things like manipulate the the metadata. They can manipulate access tokens or cookies or find hidden fields, which will then allow them to access more information than they would normally. There's also cross-origin, I can't say that word evidently, cross-origin resource sharing or CORS. So that's kind of around the server indicating like what other origins can actually load resources on a web page or within a web application. And then obviously, I also talked a little bit about either insecure or easily guessable access IDs without additional validation checks. So let's say you're looking at, I don't know, your banking account. And at the end of the URL, you see equals 2978. So if you put in 2979, you shouldn't be able to see someone else's banking information, right? Like there should be other checks to say like, hey, that ID correlates to this person. Are they actually logged in? And things like that. And yes, more memes. For those of you who don't know, the command there with the young girl who's burning everything to the ground is giving read, write, execute access to everything, just everything. So yeah, again, not good. Next slide, please. So we've talked about what it is, what it can look like, how it can happen. So what ways can we address the risk or reduce the possibility of broken access control? So first off, it's just documenting, like, what is your web app security policy? So like, who can access things? How can they access them? What can they do with that access? In addition to that, when you're thinking about new projects, new systems, and the way that systems fit together, so different dependencies, you want to think about access control up front and like, what do you want that to be? What are the use cases for individuals using the system? Like what should they be able to do? What shouldn't they be able to do? And think about different ways that people may try to access either maliciously or genuinely to get into the system, and think about the pros and cons of those different things when you're looking at how someone can access something. Obviously deny by default. So don't just install something either with the company defaults or just leave it open, right? So everything should kind of be closed, and then you just open it up to what it needs to either communicate or for people to do what they need to do within that system. And again, along that is the principle of least privilege as well. So if someone doesn't need to have admin rights connected to their account, they shouldn't have them. So again, it's limiting that attack surface, right? Because if everyone has admin and then anyone's account is compromised for any reason, that's now giving admin access to your entire system. So the other thing we talk about is kind of the verification. So forcing all requests through additional access control checks. So again, that's things like verifying, like, is this person logged into that account? Does the ID match the account? Does the request that's coming through match what's allowed within our different policies? So actually looking at, those different requests that are coming through, and either limit the amount of types of requests. So if there's things people shouldn't be able to do, then why even leave that out there as an option? But yeah, also checking that it is coming from who you think it is. One of the interesting parts when I was reading about broken access control in some of the OWAASP documentation, which I can link, it's on the bottom of the slides as well, is that they talked about considering feature and attribute-based access control over role-based. So based on like the feature or the functionality versus the traditional like role-based access controls when you're coding to do it in a more secure way. they're actually starting to say it should be feature and attribute based over the traditional role based or like RBAC. And then from a reconnaissance point of view, and just again, if someone can find something, they can try to access it point of view, disabling web server directory listings and making sure that like file metadata, backups, other things are not in that root directory, so that if anyone can access it or does get to it, you're not giving them much of a map to look where else they can go. And yeah, there's only a few left. Again, it's kind of like Didar's last slide as well. It's like, we're almost there, we're almost there. So enforcing rate limits on APIs and controller access. So this is about limiting automated attacks. Because if someone can just continually hit that API endpoint and try different passwords, different paths, different techniques, it's going to increase their chance that they're going to be able to access or gain access through various methods as well. So enforcing those rate limits means they have limited attempts to do that. And obviously log an alert on repeated access failures. So if you're seeing someone repeatedly hit those endpoints and there's some weird scripts coming along, there's continually trying like different paths, and it's, you can generally start to detect those things as well as detecting any anomalies as well. So if there's a number of failures and suddenly there's a success, you're going to want to look into that and see what's happening. And then finally, once you've done this design, you've implemented things, you've got your checks in place, the most important thing is probably to test it. So, we put all these controls in place. We think they're working as intended, but actually, can someone bypass it? Is there something we haven't thought about that maybe a penetration tester or another tester may find something thinking outside of the box, right? Being creative, like hackers are great for that, right? Like they want to find how things work. They want to find how they can break something. So, you want to be ahead of that and do your own testing and try to anticipate some of those potential attack scenarios and put in additional controls or fix the existing controls if there's gaps. And yeah, that's it.
Very good. Thank you so much, Megan. We will have a break, but before we do, I do have a question. Chat is not like recorded on the video, so you can write in the chat. What do you guys do for your day jobs? Like, what's your title? So I should have asked this at the very beginning. Very cool.
I'm a risk analyst.
Nice. We do risk. Megan and myself are also in risk compliance area.
Nice. Software engineers, SOC analysts, sysadmins.
DevSecOps, DevOps.
I'm
Very
taking
nice.
practical DevSecOps next year. Should be interesting.
Security engineers. So you guys know more than us probably. So that's great. But it's also very, very valuable to look at the web applications from this different perspective, like an attacker. That's great. Implementation analyst. Very, very nice. Thank you. I will pause the recording.
Okay. Hello again, everybody. My name is Filiz Demirci, and I am the information security consultant. Actually, I'm a computer science engineer, and I've I have more than 20 years of information and communication technology experience in multiple industries, and now I've been providing consultancy in information and cybersecurity. And this is just a short introduction of myself and my background. So maybe I thought you would like to know about who is talking about this topic. As you know, tonight's topic is broken access control, and I'll show you two different examples of it on the OWAASP Juiceshop, which is probably the most modern and sophisticated insecure web application as they describe. And I'll share my screen right now. Okay. All right. And it's an awareness training and demonstration and exercise tool for security risk in web applications. And if you join us tonight for the first time and you don't know what the Juiceshop is, this is the main page of the Juiceshop. And you know, Didar and Megan already mentioned the video showing how to install the Juiceshop in Heroku, which is the easiest way to get the Juiceshop, by the way. And also I shared the link on the chat to reach GitHub page of the Juiceshop, and you can find the detailed instruction there. Who will join me during the demo session? Who is Heroku or who is Juiceshop is already ready? Could you please raise your hands? With emotions or, okay. All right, I can see people, great. But most, yeah, Tanya and Jiang. Sorry about my pronunciation, it's wrong. Okay, so mostly you will follow what I do, no worries. You can try it later. And it's real fun and it's really easy. And I installed a brand new one for tonight, so no challenges were solved. Usually, you know, this is a step-by-step process, so after you solve a challenge, you can use this solution or the information you gain in other challenges. So that's why we need to go back and solve some of the challenges that we already solved in our previous meetups. For example, first of all, we need to reach a scoreboard, and I'd like to show you which challenges are related to broken access control and which are we will solve tonight. So that's why I need to find the scoreboard, and I'm just trying to find any link related to scoreboard, the languages here. There's the account information I haven't logged in yet, and there is a search box here, and there are the products. That's all. Okay. So I need to find the scoreboard link, which I know there's somewhere, and that's why I need to use some tools. You know, this is the only main page, and I can see any other thing that's not allowed to me to see. Okay, so I would like to mention the tool we use to solve many challenges in Juiceshop without any other tools. This is the web browser developer tool, and every web browser includes developer tool. And these tools do range of things, you know, from inspecting the currently loaded HTML page or JavaScript to showing which assets the page has requested and how long they take to load. Okay, to open this tool, you can click on the browser, right click, and then select inspect, or you can use your keyboard by pressing F12 key. Let's choose back here. Okay, this is the developer tool. And developers mostly use those tools for debugging or making instant changes to the code and seeing the results. on the other hand, we can use them for understanding the underlying structure of the code and enable us to inspect the web content. Okay. So this is really useful. Okay.
Can everybody see the right-hand side? Are you guys able to read? Is it?
Can you see it?
Yep, I can read it.
Okay.
Okay. It's on my big screen, so you should be able, but I can.
It's good.
Make it bigger if you want. Is it okay?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So there are lots of sections here, elements, and you can see anything here when you move your mouse. You can show on the main page related part, and there's a console here. There's a network. You can see your connection and sources. Okay, this is our main page, and we can find something related to scoreboard or score. No, I just click this one to make a nice view, and I will try to find something related to scoreboard. Okay, I just press the Control and F button to open this text box and then write a score for scoreboard. But I just want to start with the score because I don't know the link and I'm looking for the main. Okay, so there's 40 score in the code. So let's have a look. There's a scoreboard. Okay, I can try this one, but you know, I don't want to waste your time. I know the solution, and as I mentioned earlier, our lovely Northeast ladies solved this challenge with our previous session. So you can find the detailed video on our YouTube channel if you want. So I just want to try to be quick and continue with the other score things. Okay, all of them are scoreboard, score, board, app/scoreboard, title, scoreboard. Yeah, there's a pet here. Okay, so it's worth to try actually, and you can see all other pets there, but we are not interested in for the others for now. Let's try this one. Okay, score-board. I wrote it and enter. Just try connect. It's a little bit slow, but it's working. It's coming. Still loading.
Always when you're doing a demo.
This page is especially slow. I don't know why. There are lots of challenges here.
While it's loading, so you will see all the different, it has the stars, they are the difficulty levels. And then once it loads, we will see like different categories of vulnerabilities so that there are challenges for those type of vulnerabilities.
Yeah, we successfully solved a challenge, and it's scoreboard challenge, and you will see a scoreboard link is here anymore. Okay, so it means we can reach scoreboard whenever we want. All right, I would like to show you only broken access control challenges for tonight. So that's why I just click hide all and click on the controller.
It does this sometimes. Whenever we do the
It's
demo.
coming. It's coming. Yeah. Okay, there are many challenges that categorize broke as a broken access control. So tonight we will only solve those leave basket and admin section. So you can solve all the others. You know, all of course we choose to solve the easiest one, and we leave you all the difficult ones, so you can play around with. I believe that it's really better for you. Okay, if we are good so far, if you don't have any question, shall we start first challenge for tonight?
Yes, there are no questions in the chat, so
Okay, all right.
you mean we're good to
I
go.
couldn't follow the chat, so.
Don't worry.
Okay, so Weave Basket, weave another user's shopping basket. Okay, and this challenge is related to horizontal privilege escalation and horizontal access control. How can I say? Are mechanisms that restrict access to resources to the users who are specifically allowed to access those resources. You know, Megan mentioned about it during her presentation. And for example, a banking application will allow a user to view transactions and make payments from their own accounts, but not the accounts of any other users. So if you get horizontal privilege escalation, it means you can access data belonging to another user and not your own account. Okay, so to start this challenge, we will have to log in first because it's related to basket, but without login, we cannot see any basket, and which is so normal on any online shop site. You need to log in first. If you don't have any username, you can create it easily. I will do it now. Okay. I just click that not yet a customer link here. Okay. Let's write and test okay. Okay, just one of them and write an answer and click register. Okay, I'm our new account. Okay, so as you can see, my basket is empty because I haven't ordered or I haven't added anything yet. So back to page and choose one. Okay, nice.
That's very expensive.
Yeah, I know. But you know, we don't have to pay that much money, so let's be happy as if we bought something expensive. Why not? If you want to buy anything else, I can add as well. Okay, it's on our basket. All right, so we can see our basket. Let's back to our developer tool. We are looking for something related to this specific session, you know, because it's related to basket, it should be stored in somewhere. So that's why I just move on fast, but it's possibly on application part because it's related to storage, all right? But we can have a look at the other parts as well. I just want to save time, okay? And you can see there's a local storage here. Let's have a look what's there. And there's some key and some value, okay? There's a token here, but it's useless for now. Okay, just move on to another part. Yeah, this is a session storage, and you can see there's an item total is equal to my item. So there's another parameter here, or there's another key here. It's the ID. Could it be basket ID? What do you think? And there's a value here. So it's 6. Okay, I think it's worth a try. And let's try to change this one first. It's 5,000 pounds. It's really expensive. So let's make it like this and try. I'm just loading the page. Okay. But nothing happened. Okay, so it didn't work. Let's try to change this one. And I think it's basket ID. Let's try. Please tell me a number between 1 to 7.
5.
5. Okay. And something is coming. Can you change here?
Yeah.
But still loaded. Okay, we solved the challenge. Well done to us. But can you see the basket? It's not our basket, right? And anybody else want to try? Let's say another number. 3. Okay.
Dima wants to like try 0.5. Like what happens if it's not an integer?
Sorry, say it again, please, Didar.
What happens if we try 0.5?
Probably nothing. Probably nothing because it's ID, obviously basket ID, and it's an integer. So it should be a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? You know? And I asked between 1 to 7 because 6 was our basket ID. So I just guess probably there is 6 or 7 baskets. That's why. Yeah, there is another basket here. We can increase the number. So the total was changed here and then here. You can delete as well. So you can change somebody else's basket, which is the example of broken access control. Okay, so we solved our first challenge. Everybody happy about it?
That one was easy.
Yeah, this one is easy. Actually, the next one is easy as well. Not difficult too much. You know, the challenges on the Juiceshop mostly easy, independently as the difficulty level. Sometimes you need to use extra tool, that's all, but all of them are really okay. So, not wasting any time, let's move on to the next example then. For that, just back to scoreboard.
Do they tell you
Pages.
in the juice shop, they tell you the challenges that you're meant to solve, or is it just you just go and try everything and you'll see the confetti when you
Yeah,
get a challenge?
okay, I will show you in a few minutes. There are some tutorials with some challenges, not for all of them, but in some challenges you can follow the tutorials. So it says to you what you need to do. So you can solve in that way as well. After you find the solution and you understand what you are looking for, you can move on to the next challenge.
Sometimes you're randomly doing something and you...
Yeah, for example, this one has a tutorial. If you click this one, it will show you some information on the screen, and so you can follow it step by step. When you complete what it says, then it will show another information explanation.
Okay, but it does. Okay, I just wasn't sure if it was just keep poking until you find, but it does kind of give a breakdown of what you are meant to be trying to do. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Only tutorial ones, it gives you the breakdown. The rest is just the, as it says, like the name.
Yeah. This one,
yeah,
for the tutorial.
Right. Okay. It's like a spray and pray, but not exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. So our next challenge for tonight is admin section. It wants me to access the administration section of the store. Actually, one is very similar to a scoreboard challenge. So, do you have any guess how to solve it? Could you please join us?
I'll just shut up.
Could you please share your opinion with us? So, you know, it should be interactive session. Okay, nobody.
What was the question? I'm sorry, I missed it.
Do you have any idea how to solve this challenge? We are looking for an administration section. It's similar to scoreboard. I don't know
Would you just
which page
search
is
for like admin?
Yeah, perfect. Okay, I back the same place, sources, and you know my score there. I just delete it and start search for admin. Okay, and there is 10. Perfect, better than 40. Okay, let's have a look. There is an admin. So we can try. Page. Open. Okay, it's just back to page. Admin. App-administration. Okay, please remember this administration. It could be, let's have a look at the others. Title administration. Oh, and yeah, pet administration. Definitely should be administration. Oh, okay. It's better. It's better because, you know, there's a page here. So it's definitely administration link. One is from the registration.
So we did try admin and administration. With the admin, it didn't
work. It didn't work. It didn't forward to us anywhere. But when we wrote administration, we have error message, which is really valuable for us because it shows us there's an administration page here, but we couldn't reach it because we have normal user account. Okay, so at this point, again, we need to back to one of the previous challenges. We need to log in as an admin. We solved this one as well, and to be able to see the administration page, we need to log in as an admin. And I just try to solve this problem with another challenge. Okay, we already finished this broken access control part in some cases. So to be able to log in as admin, first I will log out. And I will try to another thing to log in as an admin. Okay. And I will try to SQL injection. I don't know the password. So the most common way to try SQL injection and apostrophe as an email and mostly as a password. And I try to log in here. Okay, so there is a, by the way, we solved another challenge here. And there's an error message again. So this object error message shows us there's an SQL injection. So we can try another thing, another statement or another command. Okay, so I try to show you here. I just click the network section on the developer tool, and there's a login section here. So I can see the error message from here. I just want to stand it. Okay, can you see the screen, guys? Okay, so there's a SQL error message, and also, can you see this one? There's a SQL query here, which is really good for us. And it's saying select star from users table name, and this users table, please select all the users where the email is this one. I already wrote this, and password blah blah is I just only write the same thing here. And so we can try another statement like this. It should start with apostrophe, and also I can say apostrophe or true, which means this statement always true. Okay, so I will send the statement which always true. So I will get a result from the SQL. I hope that. And I will close the statement with true dash. Those are just closing statements. Okay? Or you can write here like this, the statement which is always. And just try. Yeah, we logged in as well, as you can see. And
very good.
And let's see the account. Okay, can you see admin account here?
Yes.
Okay, so let's back to our main challenge then. We would like to see administration page. So as we are admin, we should see the admin page, and it's coming.
Woohoo!
It
It was a premature woohoo.
Anyway, it will come.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, there it is.
So you can see all the registered user here, admin, Jean, vendor, John, ISO support, etc. Okay. And you can see all the customer feedback. You need this screen and this information to solve next challenges. So please remember the solution of the challenge and how to access the page, okay? And at this point, I have to say that it rarely happens in real life. So the SQL injection part, it's so easy. And the reason we could log in as an admin with this injection method, because the admin user is the first record of the user table. So that's why the SQL query sends us it as a response. So, but in every case, we could able to log in with another user or with the first record of the first username of the user table. And this is the SQL injection way. Okay, I just completed the demo for tonight. So if you have any question in relation to that part, I would like to be happy to answer them.
Any questions?
That was really interesting. Thank you very much for this. It was very nice.
Thank you. And obviously no question there. I would like to say thank you all. Thank you for joining us tonight. And if you would like to reach us, you know how to do it. You know, our Slack channel, LinkedIn channel, YouTube channel.
We not closing right now. We have like 2 more slides that I want to show, and we will then close, but we're very, very close to closing. But thank you, Filiz, so much. It's been really easy to watch and easy to understand. Thank you so much. So
I just stop my share.
I will share my screen again. So we have done our demo. Thank you, Filiz, for that. And we challenge you to do the next one, the forced feedback challenge. This video, we have now recorded this video, and it will go on to our YouTube channel. I'll upload it tonight, potentially, hopefully, and you'll be able to watch it from tomorrow, and you can redo the challenges, and then you can continue on doing the challenges. It's in the same playlist as our other OWAASP Juiceshop videos, so you can give the other categories a go as well. And it's really, really fun. You've seen the 2-star ones. They were easy-ish. There are even 1-star ones in there. So it is really a good way to start learning about web application vulnerabilities. And before finalizing our session, December, we have the next Ladies Hacking Society event. It will be in Glasgow. And depending on today, I really want to be there in person as well. It's very likely that we will have this one in person. And hopefully in 2022, we will have come up with a hybrid model of doing in person and online going forward, because we really liked the online version as well, because more people are able to join us this way. And but we also missed the in-person interaction. So watch this space. And all the links that will be useful for you to set up your stuff and watch our other videos are all in here. I will share the slides in our OWAASP channel, in our Slack channel. If you haven't, the invite link is in the chat. So before we close session, please do get your invite from there. If you miss it, you can message us on Meetup. One of our admins will come back to you with the invite link. And again, I want to say and encourage all of you to donate to our charity partner. And that is it from us tonight. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.